Hello there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today I'll be doing another triple reaction. This time we're going to be hearing 3 instrumental tracks from 3 different groups, all of whom I've never listened to before. So we're going to start out with Para Oriente by Trio of Doom, then Coma Pony by Omar Rodríguez-López Quintet, and then end the reaction off with Lingus by Snark Puppy. I have no idea what to expect today, but as always, I am never deterred. I'm always excited to check out what we have in store, and that is all thanks to Lumpyhead the Brilliant for making this donation request. Thank you, Lumpy, for putting me onto some new music, and appreciate your dedication to all of the lovers of music out there. We are many, but it's kind of hard to find people who are very open-minded with music, so I think I've cultivated a nice environment for that on this channel. Anyways, I'm excited, so let's jump in. It's kind of dissonant. Oh. It's a bit bluesy. I'm glad this is in 4/4. Even though it doesn't sound like it should be. It's kind of groovy, but also very unpredictable. There's a lot of like start-stopping happening, so it's hard for me to like pick up on a melodic through line for now. We'll see if we get there. We're definitely channeling the spirit of blues, a bit of jazz. Goodness. Like at any given moment I need to focus on the drums or the guitar or the bass, and the confluence of all of those, whether it's at the same time, usually it's been in like kind of layered sequence, creates a very dynamic listen. Like I said, super unpredictable. You hear like the dissonant, right? It's like the C and D flat same time kind of thing. Playing with that space. Oh wow. Varying up the subdivisions. there's this constant push and pull between finding structure in this song but also being very free. But it's all under the hood of being 4/4. I've been like trying to count it out mentally throughout this listen, and it all is in 4/4. Even though at some, for some measures, you don't even hear the one for any of the beats. It's all off beat. It's all syncopated. It's all kind of like playing with the distortion in a way that, or not distortion, but playing with the time dilation in a way that makes some of the distorted guitar feel like it's longer in some moments, but then it quickens in others. I don't even know how to describe this. It's not prog per se. There's something very thrilling and confusing about this. I just keep listening, I guess. Definitely very, like, experimental. I like it when they get into these grooves, though. John, Jocko, and Tony. Favorite part of the song, I think. It's kind of mellow, relaxed sections. It's a little more digestible for me. Yeah, it's a super dynamic song, an unexpectedly complicated listen. And when they kind of settle into that groove, that's where my brain kind of gets some chance to relax and really enjoy the effects on these instruments. Even just feeling the subdivisions, that swing that we get, then can be brought back in to the crazy, more instrumental sections. That the problem. Well, maybe I shouldn't frame it as a problem, but I guess an artifact of music like this is that there's so much dynamics, even from like melodic motif to a version of that same melodic motif as it alters from moment to moment. The first riff is already complicated enough. If you were to first repeat it without any modifications, maybe I would pick it up on the second go around, but they don't even do that. They really take that first motif and then completely alter it, or at least add so many bells and whistles to that original motif the second time around, such that it's hard for me to then even remember what was the modification, right? Because I don't even know what the original is. So when we modify, what is the change now that I'm hearing? I can kind of notice it in some additional notes or subdivision changes when these melodies are repeated, and I use repeated more loosely. But this is the kind of song that just requires multiple listens through to fully understand. Like I said, my favorite part of the song are the more mellow, swing, relaxed sections. So if I were to listen to this kind of thing again, it would be for that. But that's my first foray into the world of Trio of Doom. An interesting one for sure. Let's check out the next song here, Coma Pony. kind of picking up where we left off in a weird way. A relaxed feel. Still in 4/4, but I really like the vibe in this. There's a lot of like brightness, and the melody I can latch onto quite easily. This one is tickling my brain the right way. I love this. I was almost expecting a saxophone there, but I like this reserved, clean guitar sound. Dude, getting the saxophone, so welcome. What a surprise. Oh, this is like musical candy. This is a great selection, Lumpy. Appreciate you expanding my mind. As for the album cover here as well. You know, weirdly, it reminds me of some of those musical jams you'll hear in Dave Matthews Band songs. I like this a lot. This is incredibly soothing to me. The movement in the keys, the guitar, the sax, the drums keeping us lockstep. Oh, and back to this motif. But it somehow feels more intense now. Wow. That is the kind of jam that I just don't want to end. Coma Pony. What an interesting title for a song. That's Omar Rodríguez-López Quintet. Quite the mouthful. God, that was just musical ecstasy. I'm really glad we got the sax because I felt like that would have been so appropriate. I don't know why that thought entered my brain. Ask and you shall receive. I received the saxophone, and my goodness, was it good. And I love that we still introed with that very soft, clean guitar, and throughout we just got this bubbly, nice guitar. The most intense aspect of this song I heard in the drumming, and in that like that's almost like super overdriven, like high octane guitar note. That's what it seems like. It could be another effect, maybe like a very overdubbed synthesizer. But I'm no producer. I just like what I like, and I pointed out. This is a really good one. Thank you for this one, Lumpy. Well, let's check out the last song here from Snark Puppy. This is Lingus. Which, I'm not sure what Lingus means. Let's Google. Lingus means fleet in Irish. Love the pronounced bass in this. Got brass in the forefront. And this kind of like froggy effect in the keys. Yeah. I like this section. Hand it off to the electric. It's like we have 3 simultaneous, maybe 4 simultaneous melodies here. One in the bass, one in the brass, one in the guitar. And I guess the rhythm is doing his own thing too. I like these little it's like a little mini staircase to heaven. Oh, that's so catchy. Then again, I love the structure handed back to that electric guitar. Ah, but you can tell it's building now. It's like I listen to a lot of music, right? And I listen to jazz, a fair bit of it. This is somehow almost like not even jazz for real. I mean, it draws a lot from jazz. I can't even just say that callously, but it's some combo, right? This is like a genre blending that's happening here. I need a way to describe this. Maybe like jazz fusion, funk. When I was in jazz band all the way back in like junior high, this is the kind of stuff I would have loved to play on trumpet. I had some relatively boring jazz pieces when I was playing. Uh-oh. Oh god, let's pay attention to the rhythm here. Boom, boom. Oh wow. This is like a Jacob Collier moment. I don't even understand. It's like they know every chord. That's every chord. Jesus, man. It's like chords between chords. It's like I'm not even gonna bother trying to headbang to this. I'm just gonna get it wrong. Wow, that is cool. Oh my god, this guy needs a raise. The chromatic, the dissonant, the diminished. But then he finds his place melodically. Oh, the sustain into the... Dude. And the fluttering. Literally same. Literally same. Because how did they find unison out of all of that? This is like sort of what would happen if, because I listen to a lot of like progressive like rock and metal. So if Dream Theater took their direction into a more jazz fusion world, this is what I could imagine they could spit out. Give this drummer a raise too. Lingus. Hyping him up, as he should. I mean, I don't have the musical IQ to break down everything we just heard. I will say that. I will say that up front. Jesus. Something that I definitely notice as being a very frequently used technique in that performance especially is the dun 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 dun, like the intentional kind of stutter stepping of the beat, kind of dancing around the meter in very obtuse, obscure, unpredictable ways. And I still think that after all of that whole 10-minute and 43-second performance, it is all in 4/4. And that should tell you that you don't need to go crazy time signatures. Yes, you can, and there's value in doing that, of course. but you don't have to create something that doesn't make sense, even in an environment where you could make it make more sense. For me, like, listening to this, like, I consider myself a seasoned music listener, and this is like very highbrow, above my pay grade at the current moment. I wonder what levels of music listening I can even get to begin to like truly understand everything that's happening here. I think it may have to be something that I would have to learn to play to be able to properly describe all of the techniques employed. And you can just tell from instrumentalist to instrumentalist, they're all experts in their craft, doing the things that already are unique for each of their instruments. Like the drums, I won't even begin to describe how those sounded and how that introduced the chaos rhythmically, but also kept the energy up the entire way through. I think when we got that handoff to the guitar twice, I think structurally that was a lot, that made a lot of sense, and the actual riff that was being played, the melody that was being played in the lead there, was digestible enough for me to be able to play it if I were, given like 2 or 3 hours to like learn the melody. What was happening in the keys is where my brain fully shut off, because it's hard to understand what some of these keyboardists are doing when they have complete grasp of music theory. They have 10 fingers, so they can literally create chords with 10 different pitches all at once, and it's constantly moving like a spider up and down the keyboard in a way that to any, I think, regular pianist would be confusing and hard to wrap your brain around. So obviously for somebody who, I don't play that much piano, I'm learning, but I am not a jazz pianist. I know that is an entirely different substrata of musician. By golly. And hearing parts of this track too sort of reminded me of Whiplash, the 2014 movie with, what was his name? C.T. Fletcher and Miles Teller. C.T. Fletcher, is that right? C.T. Fletcher may be somebody else, but the bald dude and Miles Teller, those two. That movie, I was hearing very complex jazz pieces, and even then I was able to kind of wrap my brain around some of the melodies. For Snarky Puppy here, this was a hard one for me to wrap my brain around. And after having done 3 different bands, I think my brain is a little bit fried here, but I think at a very high level, my favorite song of the 3 today was Coma Pony. Then I would think Lingus takes second place, and then in third would be Para Oriente. But this again was my first foray into all 3 of these artists today, so let me know what your perspectives are on these 3 in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed my reaction, though it wasn't as insightful as I normally can. I still enjoyed it nonetheless. If you'd like to request a reaction yourself, you can always do so by clicking the first link in the description box below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.